weather.
I mean, it feels like summer outside.
It's what, November 8th?
I'm so ready for some cool weather, to put on a sweater, just,
It is coming. In fact, we have a big cool down in the 10-day, but today, you're not going to notice it.
We're in the 80s, right?
We're in the 80s.
Ooh.
Yesterday, 1 degree shy of 90. Let me show you what it looks like outside. If you're lucky enough to see a shower, that'll help cool you down. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until we see our cold front move through overnight. That's going to make tomorrow slightly less humid, but a live look outside, you can see puffy cumulus clouds over the Southwest Freeway. We have been tracking some spotty showers, but where you haven't seen rainfall, it is just warm right now. Here in Houston, already 86 degrees. It's just past noon. Keep in mind, our normal high temperature, where we should be topping out, 75 degrees. So this is abnormally warm. And not only are we warm, we're humid. Dew points are in the 70s. This is not going to be a good hair day. Extra hairspray, definitely, if you've got Friday night, date night plans. Otherwise, we're also tracking some scattered showers. You can see across the area, inside the loop, seeing a little bit of shower activity out towards West University, the medical district. That's going to be advancing its way towards Montrose very soon in River Oaks. Continuing down into Fort Bend County, you can see Kendleton, even down towards Wharton, seeing isolated showers just rolling their way to the north. Nothing causing any major issues, but we can expect to see more showers, especially on the west side of town, as we go through the next several hours. Now, we are tracking a system advancing its way through the state. This is going to bring with it a severe weather threat and a flood threat overnight, but that's not going to be until well after sunset. So through the day today, staying warm, partly cloudy, isolated rain chances. It's not until this evening that we'll start to track a severe weather risk, especially for areas well to our northwest. We're not talking tornadoes. We're not talking anything widespread, but an isolated damaging wind gust will be possible, in addition to the possibility of flash flooding. In fact, main concern here is going to be isolated street flooding, ponding on the roads. We do have some good news, though, because the timing for these storms looks to be in the middle of the night. We're talking midnight to 3 a.m. in the morning, but we'll go through that hour by hour forecast coming up.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Caroline, thank you. Weather, it is November 8th and it is hot out there, feeling a lot like summertime.
It feels like summer. It feels like September. It is not normal.
Just want some relief.
I know. The good news is it's coming. We've got 2 cold fronts. The first one is coming tonight, but that doesn't mean today is going to be feeling much better. Let me show you what we've been dealing with. For 80s yesterday, 89 degrees. That tied a record high temperature. Today, likely we're going to be setting even more records. A live look outside is going to be showing you a mix of cloud cover out there. Certainly a warm day, a muggy day. Air temperature currently sitting in the mid 80s, 86 here in Houston, 81 down in Galveston. So if you're heading outside, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Winds are pretty gusty coming in from the Gulf. Sustained winds 15 to 20, gusting up to 25. That's really increasing our moisture, and that's going to allow for the possibility of heavier downpours this afternoon. As for what we're seeing right now on our radar, you can see some scattered showers, mainly going to be to the west of I-45. These showers more isolated in nature. Bay City, El Campo, Wharton will put this in motion, so you can see these showers drifting their way on shore, very similar to what we expect to see in the summertime. Up through Sealy, Navasota, going to see a nice soaker. So know if you're heading out and about for lunchtime, you might get caught up in a few sprinkles. That's going to be possible as we go through the afternoon, especially west of the North Freeway there. Now, as we get into the evening, we're going to start to track the possibility of isolated strong to severe storms along a cold front by 10 o'clock, approaching our far northwest counties. Along that front, these storms can produce gusty winds, frequent lightning strikes, and heavy downpours that could lead to street flooding. 1 a.m. seeing some of those heavier cells really in Houston between 1 to 5 a.m. in the morning. Don't be surprised if you woke up with a few extra buddies in bed, kiddos, dogs, definitely going to hear that thunder overnight. But the good news is it's going to move by 9 a.m. clearing out. So Saturday, wet to start, but certainly by the afternoon, drying out. So if you're heading out to the Prairie View game tomorrow, 74 degrees, really going to be nice. but it is going to be a bit on the warm side, at least to start. As for the tropics, we still have Hurricane Rafael, winds at 110 miles per hour. The Hurricane Center's forecast cone now has it moving into the western Gulf. Look at how little it moves from Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This system stalls out before diving to the south towards Mexico. That means here in southeast Texas, we will see an elevated Hurricane Rafael. While we're not going to see any direct impacts here in Houston, this is a large hurricane, sustained winds of 110. This is creating huge swells out in the Gulf, and this is going to make our coasts a little bit on the unsafe side. So coastal alerts that are already in place this weekend. We've got a high rip current risk for all of southeast Texas, so please be careful with the kiddos out into the water. We've got small craft advisories. That just means that unless you're an experienced boater, we would not recommend it. And then elsewhere, we even have coastal flood advisories with those large swells coming on shore. So a live look outside, our camera looking a bit on the grimy side. I mean, it's muggy outside. Temperatures 81 degrees, feeling like 88 right now on the island. And your weekend forecast is going to bring some rain chances. You'll notice morning storms possible in Galveston. I certainly think by about 10 a.m. in the morning, you should be in the clear, but temperatures a bit cooler, upper 70s and then the lower 80s. Sunday, only an isolated chance of seeing showers. So still go to the beach, but use extra caution, especially if you plan on actually getting into the water. Air temperature right now for the rest of the region, we're pretty warm, sitting at 86 here in Houston. Coming up, we're going to talk more about these warm temperatures and when we finally cool down.
Okay, looking forward to that. A beautiful story. A veteran,
Great story.
a mom trying to go to the police academy. Bill Spencer stepping up, helping
Always
them out.
making it happen.
Just incredible. And to hear them so excited about air conditioning in
Right.
the car. I mean, right now that's still really needed. Yesterday,
Still
we-
relevant. Mid-November.
Still relevant. I mean, we were nearly 90 degrees yesterday. Yesterday tied the hottest day we've ever seen in November.
My goodness.
But it's still kind of pretty outside. So we got, a little bit of a good news.
I agree. If it wasn't November, we would actually kind of like today. I mean, take a look outside. We've got in Sugar Land, but hey, it is a Friday out there. 81 down in Galveston. We have been tracking some light rain showers and dew points in the 70s. This means it is humid, it's muggy. We're not going to be feeling crisp in the evenings, but we do have changes coming. Radar is going to show you a few light rain showers right now across southeast Texas. Actual Houston not seeing quite as much as we were seeing earlier, but do know some passing sprinkles certainly going to be possible. You'll notice up towards Kingwood dealing with a few rain showers, advancing towards Roman Forest. So far, we haven't seen anything in terms of lightning strikes, just going to be those freckles of rain showers pushing their way on shore. So nothing too heavy, but do know through the next several hours, especially areas to the west of I-45, more showers are going to be possible. This is ahead of our cold front that's advancing its way across the state. So as we look ahead towards 3, 4, 5 o'clock this afternoon, continuing to see those isolated showers, nothing too heavy. It's not going to be until very late tonight that cold front starts to push in, and this will bring the possibility of seeing isolated damaging wind gusts. Most of those storms impacting us here in the Houston area between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. in the morning. Frequent lightning strikes possible. Isolated street flooding not out of the question. The good news is by the time most of us are waking up 7 a.m. in the morning, a lot of these showers pushing out to the east, and after that we're going to be drying out. In fact, into the afternoon, we'll start to see a bit more sunshine. So your storm timeline tomorrow mainly going to be in the morning. This means if you're heading out to Austin to watch the Longhorns, 67, mostly sunny skies. As for the tropics, Hurricane Rafael expected to make its way into the western Caribbean before it stalls out. Look at the little movement between Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and then it dives to the south with influence from a cold front. So all of our impacts really just going to be coastal. High rip current risk, elevated swells. You'll notice not a big temperature drop, but once we get to next, a live look from our Houston area Chevy dealer's camera, a mix of sun and clouds, almost looks like a painting out there. Looks beautiful, feels not so beautiful right now. 85 here in Houston, 79 in Katy. As we approach sunset just before 5:30, conditions are going to start to feel more comfortable. You'll notice mostly cloudy conditions at 7, a 20% chance of showers. Rain chances actually going to increase as we go through the overnight period. That's because we're tracking a cold front, and through the day today, we've already been seeing some prefrontal showers. We can put the radar in motion here. You'll notice most of our activity has been to the west of Houston Metro, really along Fort Bend County up through Sealy, continuing Hempstead, portions of 290, getting a nice soaking out there. Navasota certainly seeing a heavier thunderstorm as well if you're heading up Highway 6. And this is going to be the trend through the next several hours. We'll continue to watch these showers off towards the west, but then we'll start to monitor for our cold front that's working its way across the state. In fact, that cold front right now impacting areas in far north Texas. You can see this red box here. That's going to be a tornado watch, and this is our cold front that's moving its way from the northwest through the southeast. So our timing today is going to do exactly that, northwest to the southeast. So as we go overnight tonight, you'll first start to see some of those heftier storms off towards Bryan, College Station, rolling into the Houston area, or at least northwest of Houston by 1 a.m., passing through us here in the metro, likely between 3 and 6 a.m. in the morning. By 7, a lot of those storms actually going to be passing off to our east, which means if you wake up at 8 or 9, you might not see any showers tomorrow. By Saturday afternoon, cooler air, less humid air, really going to be beautiful. So if you're heading out to Prairie View to watch some football, 74 degrees at kickoff. Really going to be delightful. As for the tropics, we've still got Hurricane Rafael, maximum winds at 100 miles per hour. It'll be drifting its way into the western Gulf before it really stalls and then eventually dives its way to the south. This means not a threat here in southeast. Folks heading out to the coast this weekend, you can see it's a strong hurricane, sustained winds at 100 miles per hour. While this is heading towards Mexico, we are going to see some impacts along the coast. We've got a high rip current risk for all of our Gulf facing beaches. We also have a small craft advisory further out in the water. This means if you're not an experienced boater, we certainly would not recommend getting out there on the water. It is going to be a bit choppy. Large swells also causing coastal flood advisories to be issued as well. Now right now in Galveston, camera looking a bit on the grimy side. It is humid and muggy outside. 80 degrees, feeling like 86, that humidity 94%. So if you're heading out to the island this weekend, your beach forecast starting a bit on the stormy side Saturday morning. Those storms likely on Galveston between 6 and 8 a.m. in the morning. Saturday afternoon will start to clear out, and then Sunday a much nicer afternoon in store. Only a 20% chance of an isolated shower, and right now not seeing a tremendous amount of activity. In fact, most of our activity well to the west, a few rain showers from East Bernard up towards Wallace. Continuing to see those showers rolling through 290 just to the east of Pine Island. And then finally up towards Navasota, a pretty healthy thunderstorm soaking Highway 6. This is just the beginning. We've got overnight storms expected tonight, but I'll break down that hour-by-hour forecast coming up.
All right, Caroline.
All right, let's talk about the weekend.
It is finally here. I mean, all week we look forward to the weekend.
It's true.
We've made it to the weekend. Some big changes are coming weather-wise, and I think timing-wise, it's actually in our favor.
Okay.
We will see storms. That's coming with the cold front, but most of the storms are going to be while we're sleeping.
Okay.
So if you wake up a little later on Saturday, you might completely miss it. So let's get right. It really still feels like summertime out there. Right now, it's 85 here in Houston, 82 in Pearland. You'll notice Katy a bit cooler at 79 degrees. That's because they've already seen some showers. And if you haven't, do be aware, a 20% chance of showers between now and 10 p.m. this evening. Temperatures, once we get past sunset, are going to be more comfortable in the 70s. but we're going to be much more comfortable tomorrow. So taking a look at our radar, you can see we are tracking some scattered showers, mainly going to be to the west of the I-45, Brookshire up towards Pattinson, continuing up towards 290, dealing with just some light rain showers there from Hockley over towards Waller near that Buc-ee's along 290, continuing up those red colors indicating a heftier downpour just to the west of Magnolia, but not causing any big problems. These showers drifting their way from the Gulf, continuing up towards the north. These are prefrontal showers. The thunderstorms we're talking about overnight tonight actually going to be currently impacting the Dallas area. You can see that red box. This is going to be indicating a tornado watch in place through 9 p.m. and these are going to be the storms diving their way to the east. So they'll be moving into our area from the northwest to the southeast. So let's show you that future track tonight for any Friday night date night plans. Mostly quiet, perhaps some isolated showers. It's not until the overnight hours, 1 a.m. that we'll start to see some heavier thunderstorm potential here in Houston, most likely between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning. So frequent lightning strikes possible. Might get woken up with a bit of thunder, an isolated gusty wind. Those storms pushing to the east by 7 a.m. already starting to dry out. By Saturday afternoon, we've got mostly sunny skies, lower humidity. If you're heading out to Austin to see the Longhorns play, 67 degrees at 11, lower 70s in the fourth quarter. We are still tracking Hurricane Rafael with 100-mile-per-hour winds. This will be churning its way through the Gulf, stalling out on Sunday before plummeting down to the south, moving into the Bay of Campeche early next week, which means here in Southeast Texas, outside of some rough Gulf waters, no big impacts. You can see our next cold front, at least a stronger front, moving through on Wednesday. That's going to